2 Timothy chapter 3. This also know, that in the last days glorious times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses, and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. So there you go, right there. So we're going to kind of summarize some of these attributes to people that we know.
I began to notice that people were looking behind me fearfully, rushing into their huts as I passed. I heard the growl of a leopard and started to run into the forest, tripping over roots and stumps and vines, until at last I couldn't run any longer and I fell to my knees in the middle of a bright clearing. Panting for breath, I turned around to see the day turn to night, and a giant figure looming as tall as the trees, wearing only a loincloth and a ghostly mask. The lifeless eyes bored into me, and I heard a thunderous voice saying only that it was time, and my entire body began to shake violently with the sound, as if I were breaking apart. I jerked up with a sweat, hitting my head against the wall lamp that stuck out above the bunk. In the darkness, my heart slowly evened itself, but I couldn't get back to sleep again.
I vowed to keep up the fight against the so-called Defense of Marriage Act. There's a bill to repeal this discriminatory law in Congress, and I want to see that passed. But until we reach that day, my administration is no longer defending DOMA in the courts. I believe the law runs counter to the Constitution, and it's time for it to end once and for all. It should join Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the history books.
So there you go. That's the beginning of the degradation of America. Want to be a fireman now? A man or a woman or someone outside of that greater gender binary. For transgender people, the sex they were assigned at birth and their own internal gender identity. So here's the question and answers and facts. How is sexual orientation different from gender identity? What name and pronoun do I use? Can be a sort of anxiety for you guys out there because you won't know how to approach a transgender person. How do I treat a transgender person with respect? Why is transgender equality important? Learn more about being an ally. And I just want to let you know that a lot of
this is just to show you that Hillary Clinton is not a heterosexual. She's a sodomite. Yoko Ono, the one who was married to John Lennon, who was shot many years ago, says, I had an affair with Hillary Clinton in the 1970s. From Los Angeles, Yoko Ono shocked reporters yesterday when she responded to a question concerning the presidential run of Hillary Clinton and the possibility that she could become the first woman president of the United States in American history. The artist and widow of John Lennon, who is in Los Angeles to present a collection of cups and saucers she is exhibiting at the Museum of Modern Art, totally took reporters by surprise by admitting she had not only met the former First Lady at various times during a series of protests against the Vietnam War in New York in the 1970s, but also knew her intimately. The celebrity admitted laughingly to having a fling with her at the time and acknowledged her election would be a great advancement for the LGBT and women's rights in America, she added. See, just like Obama.